You're watching Bet Republic TV with me, James Eastham and Steve Claridge, and it's time now to check out the exchange markets on Betfair, and we're looking specifically at the game between Arsenal and Tottenham taking place on Sky Sports on Saturday. Now, if you look at the stats, Steve, for this game, it looks like goals all round, doesn't it? Although you've pointed out that Jermaine Defoe will be missing here through suspension, won't he? Which I suppose will be something that punters will take into account. Yeah,
certainly from a Tottenham perspective, that will make a huge difference. But I get the feeling that both these sides will still fancy themselves to do well in this game. Both sides really do need a result as well after Saturday's drop points and disappointing performances. So I think this is a game where local derby, not a lot to lose either way. They'll both be really going for it. And I don't think either of these teams will want to lose this game. No. But I think both sides will also think, well, I'll tell you what, we've got a chance of winning it. So this should be an open encounter. What
did you make of Arsenal last week, Steve? Because they dominated that game against West Ham, 2-0, cruising, and then they dropped points.
Well, the problem for them is that when they don't dominate, they concede. They can go into a game, have the majority of the play for 80 minutes, yet still not win it. And that is their problem. And we've spoken about them and we've spoken about Liverpool. And I don't really see a major difference between last year and the year before and the year before that. Between that side and this Arsenal side. They're a fantastic side. We all love them. They're every neutral's favourite. Play some great stuff. But they don't win the games that they need to win.
No, they don't. And they're a short price to win this weekend, Arsenal. They're 8-16, which in decimal prices is around 1.6. The draw's at 4.0, that's 3-1. And Tottenham are 5-1, which is 6.0 in decimal prices. Looking at those, Steve, would you be tempted by any of those, or would you look at goals maybe as a better bet on this game?
I fancy Arsenal for this game. I mean, there's no coincidence that Tottenham got beaten last week. Modric out, Defoe out, probably their two most creative players. I mean, they've got Keane, they've got Defoe. I just worry about a little bit of lack of balance and shape with them. So I would say that Arsenal 8-13 are a respectable bet. It might come in a little bit. You might get a little bit of 4-6 somewhere. Come nearer the day. I fancy Arsenal for this, but I do fancy some goals, as you say. I mean, both teams are capable of scoring. Both teams, as I say, will fancy themselves in this game, and I think this will be an open encounter. And to be fair, neither will be too willing to lose this one.
Certainly not. You'll probably remember the game from last year, which finished 4-4 at the Emirates Stadium. Well, our first bet is on over goals, not over 2.5 as we normally do. This time it's over 3 goals. That's available at evens, which on Betfair will be 2.0. Give you some stats on that. 8 out of Arsenal's 9 games this season have had 3 goals or more, and 9 of Tottenham's 10 games have had 3 goals or more as well. And our second bet is on the time of the last goal to be after the 77th minute. That's available at 5-6, which is 1.83. 3 of Arsenal's 4 home games this season have had a goal in the final 10 minutes. Now, if you're looking to trade on this game during the match, then our advice is to look for a late goal. There's been a goal in the last 20 minutes in 7 of the last 9 head-to-heads. And as you've said, Steve, we expect this to be the sort of game where both teams are going to keep going right until the very end, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal have almost... You get the feeling with Arsenal that he's decided, we're not great defensively. We will probably concede goals in games, but I'll tell you what, we're going to score more than we concede. And that's almost his philosophy now, Arsene Wenger. And Harry, we know what Harry's like. Harry just wants to go out there and win games of football. So I don't see anything other than, both teams to score is a bet worth looking at. And also, when we say over 3 goals, if there are 3 goals in the game, you get your money back.
Absolutely,
that's the important
right, which is a great safety net. So you can only lose on that bet if there are 2 goals or fewer in the game. If you fancy any other in-play trading bets on Betfair, you can find all the latest prices at betfair.com. And if you want to see our tips on all the other Premier League games this weekend, simply go to betrepublic.com.